my gosh. Muffin's experience has a level of time. The little spikes can take extra damage.
But he makes it through.
Wow. Save anywhere for it.
Oh! Muffin! Wilson! Wilson!
What are you doing? No,
What are you doing?
No, still. Oh, Hellreach! Oh, Hellreach! I'm saving him again!
Guys, I hope he remembers that top left keystone, because that's dash, that's huge.
Oh, he forgot it! He doesn't remember. Oh no! Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 4 of the Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer Tournament Swiss stage. We are here. I just noticed the overlay disagrees with me. It's 4, I promise. We are here for round 4. This match between Hydra and Oshi coming to you here at 1 and 2. These two players are going to be battling for their bracket lives. Here for the match, I am Vol'jin, going to bring the action to you tonight with Sigma. Sigma, how are you doing tonight?
You know, not too bad, aside from the fact that I have to watch one of these guys fall to 1 and 3 in the tournament, which is just a tragedy.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation we find ourselves in here with these two runners. These are two of our, probably odds-on favorites to have done really well in the bracket, and here we are with both of them at 1 and 2. One of them is going to be eliminated from bracket contention. Sigma, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who's it going to be?
You know, I really think that Hydra is going to win this match, most likely. I mean, I'd give it maybe 30%, 40% chance that Oshi can take it, but I have to favor Hydra at least a bit, just because his execution is so crazy. I mean, he has a 28 in all skills, and what else do you need to say?
I agree, but I would never want to discount Oshi's great prowess in the randomizer. He's a very knowledgeable player. He does have a lot of experience. And, something that we've seen for Hydra, unfortunately for him in a couple of his races, his skills from, all skills, his overall execution level hasn't quite been able to save him. A couple times he's gotten, randoed. He's kind of randoed himself a little bit. He did manage to escape that in his preceding match in the last round, but we'll see whether or not he's able to escape that fate in this one against Oshi.
Yeah, I mean, naturally, even if you're going to save maybe 30 seconds to a minute on your opponent just through pure execution throughout the seed, if you lose 2 minutes because you missed dash right at the start somewhere, then that's no good.
All right, well, we are on our way here with Hydra getting started and Oshi getting started with some good luck on your rando here. We will certainly hope to see some good luck tonight, but I mean, it's rando, so we might also hope to see some bad luck, as Oshi is going to pick up his first pickup, and it is good luck on your rando. That's an interesting first pickup.
Yeah, Oshi, likes the message queue. We found out it's Keystone. Actually, Oshi probably noticed that as well, because it popped up in the top right part of his screen there. You have to be observant for these kind of things when you're going to spam that command out 100 times, because if you get dash as your first pickup, you kind of want to be using it.
Of course, most players will be playing with a tracker that is running on the side as an external program. That is one we have developed as a community and allow, and that would show them when they did pick up a skill like dash, but in this case it was not dash. The second pickup was an energy cell, as Oshi's spam finally comes to an end.
Yeah, that's right. So, we got 2 energy cells there. That's pretty good. I expect that we get another keystone soon, but you never know. It's always funny when you just get one and then you have to go to Blackroot.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up being the next progression here. We've got the 1 keystone. You would think, Sigma, that we're pretty likely to see another, since that's such a common beginning. But what we do get is 7 experience.
Oh man, now we're in suspense. Keystone, and you get to go through the door, wall jump, and you have to turn around and go to Blackroot. What's it gonna be? We're gonna see it for Hydra. It's wall jump, yes, I love this. I love when this happens.
The bait and switch coming up there.
Oh my god. He didn't save before he did that fake flippers. He's a madman.
He also got 250 XP from it. So good enough for 3 level ups there. A little bit ridiculous, but that will allow him to have some confidence in using his ability points and skipping all these cutscenes inside Blackroot Burrows. And Oshi, meanwhile, what's going on with Oshi?
He needs a level. He didn't keep that experience, so he wants to kill this Frankie so that he doesn't have to watch the cutscene.
Ah, there we go. That's interesting. You know, it's not often you see too much of a difference as far as how people get that XP. It's very typically from killing a bunch of the slimes and then collecting the like 10 to 12 or whatever from the bramble wall right in front of BRB. But I guess Oshi said I wasn't quite close enough, so let me just get all the 19 from that Frankie.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Maybe he was close enough given that he had a 7 experience pickup, but no, you really don't want to watch that cutscene, so you might have just been making sure. So Hydra does have a little bit of a lead early on. Oh no, Hydra fell off that thing, so he's gonna have to jump back up. Just as I was trying to say, nice execution, Hydra. Damn
it. And the orb despawned on him too, making him wait another extra second. He got a mega energy coming up there from the all still is XP, so he's gonna immediately use that to open up the Death Gauntlet door before he continues on, and he will just Alt-R back with that door now opened. And Oshi gonna do exactly the same thing. Not a surprise, these are both very savvy runners, and they both immediately think, let me just make sure that that door is open.
Yeah, and if you wanted to be a little crazy here, you could continue with the Grotto Teleporter, but since none of them have regroup to gain health back on a save, that's rather impractical, I guess you could say. So they both make the wise call and just turn around and come back.
So Hydra opening up a small lead here as they're both working on BRB, which is pretty much an auto-scroller, and there's not going to be too much of a difference in route here, but we'll see how quickly this goes for both of them, and then afterwards where they really start to diverge. And ooh, ouch.
Oh, she took a fall there, didn't quite make the jump. He even wanted to place a save right before it, so he's perhaps a little nervous about it, but you can't actually save there because, I don't know, something about the darkness and the lasers makes this game think that the area is unsafe and you can't save. It's kind of weird.
There is one spot on a ledge right before dropping down to that log where you can save, but it's one of those things where you want to save, but then you're like, I've done this jump a whole bunch of times, and then you just miss it because you just do sometimes. So an unfortunate bit of time loss for Oshi, but it's not going to come down to this. There's plenty of game left to be played and plenty of randoing left to happen.
Oh man. Oh, that's so rough. He fell all the way down. He's back to a save at the orb.
Oh my goodness. That's a very large time loss. Oh.
Well.
Oh, jeez.
Man, like you say, it won't come down to this, but it might come down to that, honestly. And it's sad to say, but unless Hydra gets randoed really, really thoroughly, he's 2 minutes ahead based on that. And it's not something that Ochi can just skip either, because he's got to go to the dash tree eventually. And that's just going to be him playing catch up for a pretty long time now.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, but we'll, of course, see many, many developments could occur, but you definitely don't want to take that large early death there. So as he does make his way back in to finish Blackroot Burrows for the second time, probably will make extra effort to get a save down. Hydra collected the Swamp Teleporter from the ability cell in the main room, and he's actually just going to teleport straight there, having only wall jumps. So not a ton of things that he can do here in Swamp, but I'm sorry, what am I talking about? He's got wall jump. He can do a million things. Actually, it's kind of awful, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right. And he had the option of going through the Death Gauntlet and checking out Grotto that way, but yeah, he still only has 3 health, so that's not so fun. I don't think he got regrouped yet, since he just did 1 point to skip the Darkness cutscene. He didn't proceed to the Boulder area, so he hasn't spent that ability to get heals on saves, although he could, since he kept that 200 experience from the start.
Well, he's going to opt to start with the Horror Field South Cell. This is a common play that savvy rando players like to make. Boy, I'm going to use that word a lot for these two players, because they have such a high level of knowledge of the randomizer. There's really not a better adjective for them, but this is pretty common play because this is actually in logic with nothing. If you can teleport to Swamp, you can just access this pickup immediately. So it is very frequent for there to be something here, but in this case, just a keystone, which actually right now is his second keystone, actually.
Yeah, that's true. So he could take that over to the wall jump area, but since he's already here, of course, he's going to explore some more pickups first. And I think him getting that pickup now kind of indicates what Hydra's plan is. He wants to be thorough here. He doesn't want to get randoed, as they say, by missing some pickup that, well, you know, that one's not the most convenient, is easily accessible early, and now he's just gonna try for Iceless.
I have a feeling he might. I mean, it is Hydra, so he can just be doing this anyway, like he always does this. But I have a feeling this might be a show for me as well. This jump is really dumb. It is very hard to do. It is never in logic. It is never required to do this, but he's going to give it a shot for a little bit here and probably give up on it if he can't get it before too long. And if he does manage to get it, he can check this XP that is not accessible any other way right now. There's no other sequence break to it, so it would be nice to be able to get this check in. But I have a feeling pretty soon Sigma he'll abandon it and say, okay, oh, nope, he got it, so he doesn't have to abandon.
Oh, he's got to watch over that slime though. He's at 1 health. All right, we're good. What are you gonna get? Keystone. Nailed it. Already's out.
Perfect. Completely worthwhile.
Oh man. Okay.
Well, he's heading back to Sunken Glades as Oshi's just finished up BRB. He's heading back to Sunken Glades. That was actually a fairly significant time investment in Sigma, so he actually might even have allowed Oshi just a little bit of catch up there. Oh god.
Oshi's trying that cool thing where you fall directly onto the platform outside, but it can be a bit hard. So he's gonna land on more platforms this time. Hydra's located the 1 experience of the 4th health cell. Oshi grabs that swamp TP. He's gonna keep it. We'll see if he opts to go back in for the boulder escape right now, or if he just heads to swamp, or if he just heads to the death gauntlet. He's going down to the teleporter, so that last one's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I think with 3 health still and a lot of other options available to them, both runners are probably thinking, I don't really want to go through the death gauntlet right now. Oshi is thinking, let's go to Raziel No. The first XP in the boulder area, which is what I just referred to by the meme name, is in logic. Further pickups are not in logic because he doesn't have dash, but you never want to leave this one just chilling here and then it turns out it's dash or stomp or something important.
Yeah, that's right. This area is, you know, pretty time costly, especially when you had to go from the start of the game rather than from the dash tree, since the bottom of the room is worth keeping. But it's one of those things as well where it's like, if you don't want to get randoed, you gotta check it. But meanwhile, Hydra picks up double jump in Spirit Caverns right below something he can use double jump to get to, so that's very convenient. That's our first, you know, step of progression after wall jump.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Oshi collected a health cell from that XP right next to the boulder chase, so a really nice little pickup for him that's going to make his life significantly easier, as Hydra is still on 3 health himself. But that said, it's not quite progression by comparison, so he would probably love to have double jump right now. He should be able to get it in the comparatively near future, but in the meantime, he's going to finish up with... well, he wanted to try to rekindle through this cutscene, but he had to save slightly too far.
Yeah, that's alright, though. It saves maybe 3 or 4 seconds to get this rekindled. It's not a big deal if you miss it. So now we'll go back, he'll check this last pickup by getting this Frankie to break the boulder for him. And just experience. So nothing paying off for Oshi down there. And he is going to now go to the Death Gauntlet, so he's going to find some stuff that Hydra did not yet on these checks, and maybe even head into Moon Grotto, which is a pretty dense area. But without double jump, he's going to have to leave some stuff behind.
Yeah, and it'll be pretty nice for us, of course, to see a little bit of divergence here and get some extra information from both sides. So as Oshi picks up a map stone from Death Gauntlet, Hydra completed the left glade section, or left wall jump, or the wall jump loop, or whatever you want to call it. Got a map stone there, which he was able to turn in for his first map turn in, and it was like 14 experience or something garbage, so not particularly nice, but he does have the ability now to go and collect his second skill tree, the wall jump tree.
Yep, that's right. Oshi is going to be getting to the Grotto Teleporter momentarily, and then he'll have a choice on his hands. Does he want to go up, down, or somewhere else entirely? He did get 2 keystones, so he's going to return to the start, and I think probably head over to left glades now as well, which will take him pretty close to double jump. He'll just have to find 2 more keystones, which I'm pretty sure there probably were outside of Spirit Caverns. I would hope. I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, I believe that Hydra went into the main area of Sunken Glades as soon as he had 2 keystones, so he did end up finding 2 more to be able to open up Spirit Caverns, I believe. We will find out as Oshi goes, as we get the reminders. We did, of course, get the 1 XP. Hydra still on just 3 HP and manages to take a 1 damage swim there, so very nice job by him to avoid getting killed. That is not easy at all, and he will be collecting ow.
Oh, collecting a death.
Yep, exactly that.
Fortunately, he has double jump to make this easier, so it's not like the crazy task perfect one where you do it with just wall jump, but he's able to get through again and gets a nice little health drop. Not that that helps a ton, because I think these all do 2 damage, I want to say, but you know, moving on. So Oshi's got 1 keystone now. I'm just curious if there's another one up here or not, because I know Hydra had 1 extra keystone. That energy cell Hydra, there you go.
Yeah, Hydra had the extra keystone from doing Iceless, which is kind of hilarious now when you think about it. However, there is an extra keystone, so Oshi is caught up and will be able to do Spirit Caverns. He won't be able to go out the top, neither can Hydra yet, but that's not a huge deal at this moment, as they have access to pretty much the entire remainder of the right side of the map.
Yeah, so
Hydra
grabs that water vein.
That's fancy beating you there.
That water vein did not make it far. Like, Gumo got a little tired of carrying it, I guess, while stealing it from Ginso. Didn't quite take it all the way down to his hideout. He just dropped it off the grotto. But that gives you an interesting choice right away, because we're kind of keystone starved. I guess Hydra has 4 right now, but they've had some issues with keystones so far. Gets Glide. That's nice.
Glide Vault strikes again. It's a meme name. We use that name as a joke because there were a couple tournament races last year where Glide was in that particular location, but it keeps showing up there. Sigma.
Yeah, that's true. So I think there's an interesting decision facing our runners, because Oshi will find double jump soon. He's, I think, heading to Spirit Caverns right now and probably make the same kind of play in Grotto eventually as Hydra did. You have double jump, you have the Ginso key. When do you go to Ginso? Because, you know, if you don't have the Sunstone clue, you might have to come back. If you don't have Batch, you might have to come back for the top later, stuff like that. But it is super dense because it has a 4 keystone door in it, and all those keystones are a lot of pickups. So it'll be interesting to see what our runners decide. Hydra's going to go for Grotto skip here, which is not something you see too often in the randomizer, but it's going to be useful in this case to get him over to the left side. It looks like he wants to be pretty thorough. Triggering this cutscene means he's going to actually go for the far left pickup right now. He can't even damage boost, so yeah, those spikes will kill you. So he has to like ride along the pillars.
Yeah, I think I do like this play, as Oshi's collected double jump from Spirit Caverns, because all they've gotten so far really is just double jump and wall jump. So there's something that just requires the double jump movement to get. And you get the water vein and think, maybe it is just that. But it's a little scary to just say, I'm going to go into Ginso with only double jump and wall jump. So I like the play by Hydra to just say, I'm going to check up on that particular pickup. And especially because, as you mentioned early on, you know, he has that pretty significant execution level advantage from his being a 28 holder in all skills, which is top 5 in the world. So definitely the kind of thing where he would think, I believe I have the time to be able to spend on a few more, you know, time-consuming checks.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oshi just grabbed Stomp from the pickup above the 4th health cell in Glades, which is a double jump lock pickup that Hydra never got around to since he did Spirit Caverns and headed directly down. Never went back for that one. And Stomp is a really important pickup. It opens up a lot of stuff. you know, you can get around it if you have Bash from somewhere else, but it might lock Bash, and it's just faster to use Stomp in many cases.
Meanwhile, Hydra is checking on a location that it would be nice if he had Stomp for this particular spot. This is the Gummo's hideout redirect area, and he did a save drop with no backup save to be able to get in here because he doesn't have any way to break this wall. He's got to push this block to redirect the shot. If he had Stomp, he could just Stomp nearby and it would just immediately shatter because this wall is about as strong as, I don't know, something weak. And he finds... What? What? That is ridiculous. Wow.
Okay, well that is pretty significant. Bash and Dash showing up, the two most powerful skills in the game, right next to each other. You know, his insane horizontal movement and insane, like, all-directional mobility with Bash, and that pretty much forgoes the need for Hydra to have Stomp, most likely throughout the entire seed.
I mean, not only that, but before too long, with the ability points that he's accumulated and the abilities he's learned so far, he'll certainly pick up Charge Dash. That will cause him to say, hey, I could go route to the Charge Flame tree from below, and while he's doing that, he's going to get Stomp. So even if he doesn't need it, he can just get it. It'll show up in his route, most likely. So meanwhile, Oshi did do the Glide Vault play as well. It's actually very common to see runners not check the Glide Vault, but Oshi, being comprehensive in his checks, managed to pick up Glide as well, so he is not getting randoed in that particular way, and he also gets Charge Flame in the water. Are you... What? And Hydra picks up the Gumon still in the water. What is this seed, dude?
I cannot believe how loaded Grotto is right now. I mean, normally it has a few things in it at least, because it's got a lot of pickups and it's pretty close to the start of the game, but this is insane. Stomp, Water Vein, Charge Flame, Glide, Bash, Dash, and, you know, not far off the Gluon Seal, all in this dense little area. Holy smokes.
This is ridiculous. Oshi just picked up a third energy cell, so even if Oshi were feeling a little bit, you know, a little bit shy about doing the save drop, particularly without even making a backup, the 3 energy do give him the opportunity to potentially open up the door using an energy glitch if he feels comfortable with that. On top of that, because he's got Charge Flame, he's got these 3 plants to check here, which Hydra did not have the opportunity to do, and one of them is energy regen, which is not quite enough to easily check that 4 energy door, but we'll see if he somehow finds a way to be able to do it.
Dude, Hydra was taking the lower left Mortar Worm shot in Swamp up really high, and I think his intention was to actually go break the roof that he's now breaking with the right Mortar Worm shot, but he didn't quite manage to pull it off. Almost manages to get up there with that one, but not quite. He'll have to take another shot if he wants it. You know, now another shot if he wants it. But let's watch Oshi on the right side. Is he going to save drop here? Or is he just going to skip this energy door? Is this plant going to be an energy cell? If this is an energy cell, that's so huge. Nope.
Not quite. If he collected the XP, he might be able to get a refill, but unfortunately, he is leaving that area right now, not having the energy to do it, not having a good way to get his energy back, so... Oh boy.
Yeah, and now those locations are orphaned. It's not likely for Oshi to want to come back there. There's going to be far more dense things than, you know, these 2 pickups to go for, so Bash and Dash, Oshi just might not get them. I mean, the game doesn't require you to have those skills to complete it. But man, that makes things hard for Oshi, because those are just amazing speed skills.
Oh my god.
There's Charge Jump.
Maybe he doesn't need Bash and Dash. Oh my god.
Is there anything in Grotto that's not just completely golden? Like, holy smokes.
Is the Sunstone down here? Is that what?
I wouldn't be surprised at this rate. Like, heck, just put it on the double jump tree and give us the Soro teleporter next.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so Oshi heading down to the double jump tree. Hydra did not. He opted to preserve his keystones and come back later because he got both Bash and Dash, so he's going to move on. But Oshi, for his work here, is going to claim another health cell, which brings him up to 6, while Hydra's still stuck at 3. And at his 3rd tree, Oshi also gets the first clue of the seed, which Hydra just got a minute ago, and it just tells him what he already knows. Water Vents and Grotto. Oh, 4 energy.
He could go back there. I really don't think he's going to, though. I don't know, but he is going through the Death Gauntlet. I mean, this is the fastest way if he was over on this side anyways to get to those pickups, and he has these couple to tempt him, and he gets grenaded. Oh my word! He could stomp that floor if he wanted, but he's gonna just move on. Dirty water, so it's not launching just yet.
I believe he checked it earlier when he had Stomp coming through the first
Oh, okay. And probably just died and it was nothing. Okay, that makes lots of sense.
Alright, well we have Hydra heading in to the Ginso tree. He did check some of the stuff around the outer swamp area and didn't find anything particularly hot, so he will head on up to the tree while Oshi is heading towards outer swamp himself and may just make his trip into the Stomp tree because he has all the skills he needs for that.
Yeah, that's true. So let's take a look at the state of the race right now. I think Hydra still has to be leading because he had a bit of a better early start, and he found Bash and Dash, which, you know, despite the fact that Oshi has Stomp, Grenade, Charge Flame, and Charge Jump, Bash and Dash are kind of just better than those skills, unless there's something gated by a blue breakable object. Well, Hydra could still dash those, but grenade locked pickups Oshi will have access to, and Hydra won't.
Yeah, and I don't expect that condition to last forever because Charge Jump is, well, man, I was about to say that, but actually Charge Jump is just right next to Double Jump Tree. However, it's in those Crushers, Sigma, and if Hydra gets to that tree in something resembling Go Mode, which honestly, right now he is practically in Go Mode, he might just not bother checking that, which would probably dissuade him from going to the Death Gauntlet roof, which probably means he's not getting Grenade anytime soon.
Yeah, that's right. I think that analysis is pretty spot on, and it does save a fair bit of time to skip going through that Crusher section. Normally, if people aren't in full Go Mode, they'll just do it because you do get a pickup along the way, and it sets up your cycle nicely for the other thing that's gated by Crushers. But as you say, if you're close to Go Mode, you're probably going to just skip that. So Hydra's approaching the pretty dense part of Lower Ginso right now, just before the Bash Tree. That's the Grotto TP active, which he already had, as well as, Keystone. But in the meantime, Oshi found the Sorrow Teleporter grenade locked at the start of Glades.
That's a really nice find that he is going to exploit literally immediately, going directly to Sorrow. That is very interesting. He does have basically all the skills he needs to get to the tree and probably get into the main section. He only has 2 Keystones, but hey, guess what? He's got enough... Oh, ow. Ooh. He has enough skills to be able to key dupe there, but he says, no, wait, hold on. This is bad. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, that part can be a bit annoying. He can do it with his stats, but it just might be a little slow to take too many attempts. We have Hydra continuing Ginso here, which is a good play because, you know, he doesn't have all the skills necessary to finish necessarily, I suppose. Actually, yeah, he could do the final escape, but he's not sure about, like, grenade-locked things, or C-Jump and Stomp can make things much easier. Plus, he doesn't have the Sunstone clue, so at least doing some of Ginso here is a good idea, because you really don't want to leave Ginso and then have to come back, like, to the top later, redoing the entire bottom part, because the Sunstone was just higher up.
That is a really good point, and we're not going to get that Sunstone clue for potentially a long time. We're at 4 trees right now. Certainly do have access to a 5 and 6 should we choose clean water at the top of Ginso, so a nice visual upgrade for Hydra there. But yeah, the 6th tree clue might just not even be the Sunstone clue, in which case, you know, good luck.
Yeah, and Hydra's going to make himself completely safe, actually, from any kind of clue troll, because he's going to either finish Ginso or at least get the teleporter right now. He's not going for the teleporter. He's going up here. Oh my gosh, his experience is set up for core skip. Is he going to do it? I hope this other one isn't XP.
Well, he could always core skip first and then come back into the room, but it does look like he's going to check it first. It's XP, but not enough!
Joe, go get the frog, Hydra! Yes, dude!
This is so stupid. This is an old all skills trick that we used to use, where you take a level up here at a specific time and blow up both corruption orbs on the top of the Ginso tree there, and that puts him in good position to be able to finish up. He doesn't have anything to break plants yet, and I haven't seen his ability count recently, Sigma, but I don't think he's got the points for Charge Dash yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's not even going to go to that right room. And I just want to point out that that core skip was really significant because he doesn't have Stomp. Stomp speeds up the right room by a lot because you can just break the wall at the top without having to wait for this slow shot to travel up. So he would have had to spend about 30 seconds in that room, maybe a bit longer, if he had not just noticed that his XP was good and gone with that. So he's gonna finish the top of the Ginso tree here. Now he didn't get the teleporter, and if that plant was the Sunstone, which would just be completely like, unbelievable, horrible randoing for Hydra, he'll have to redo the entire Ginso tree later, but that's very unlikely, so I don't think he's too worried about that.
Yeah, I think very unlikely even might even be an understatement, but oh my gosh! Come on, Rando! What are you doing here? He's gonna go ahead and finish out the escape, having collected the Sunstone in the Ginso escape, and he gets a mega health for his troublers there. Now he's gonna stare at the ceiling for a little bit. We did find from Oshi that the plant at the beginning of the Ginso tree is nothing. I would be very unsurprised for Oshi to just leave Ginso after the Bash tree, given his set of skills and just not knowing where the Sunstone is. Like, it's not an unreasonable decision to just say, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah, at most, like, the best thing for Oshi would be if he goes and gets the teleporter, at least. Doing the escape with just charge jump is doable. A little more annoying than Bash, but I mean, he has great supporting skills in glide and double jump, so he could do it. But it just seems like a bit of an odd play because he knows Bash is required for the escape in standard logic. So he might, you know, just leave before that keystone door, honestly, and that's just gonna be, like, I almost want to say fatal in this race because he's already kind of at a disadvantage without having those fast skills, and Hydra is basically set to just clear trees and finish the game. He doesn't really need anything else, but he's still checking the bottom of the swamp.
I do like this play. I think this is Hydra adapting to, you know, in past races he has gotten just kind of randoed by his own decisions to kind of go mode maybe a little faster than he really should or could have. You know, basically saying like, hey, I go mode a little too early and I missed skills that were like right there, and that just cost me a bunch of time. In this case, the skills are kind of right there, just not quite the places he's looking, but like I appreciate why he's doing this particular stuff. We are seeing him go here for the above 4th health cell, so he will now get his stomp, and we'll find out whether he is going to get Charge Dash in the near future, because he still can't access the Charge Flame tree, I believe.
Looks like he's going over here, so he must have the points. Yeah, he kind of just got them too. I think he has only a couple ability points left after that. Oh, she got clean water and he left, which is completely reasonable, but it's gonna burn him very significantly in this race.
Yep, that was pretty much what I was expecting to see. That said, he should... Okay, so he's actually going to get his next clue right now, and that will actually help him. Sort of. It will make him feel very bad, but then he'll be like, okay, it's Ginso, so I just need to go back there, because he is heading towards the long flippers check here, and then he's immediately going to go and claim his Charge Flame tree as well.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's a crusher. Oh, Hydra's back to the C Flame tree. Well, I don't think he found anything useful. He's just going to ult our back. Redo the bit of a Death Gauntlet trip here. He's probably heading to the double jump tree now, because he hasn't done that yet. It'll be... I think he's gonna find charge jump along the way, actually, because he has still like checked stuff. So, see if his mind changes on the way, perhaps.
Yeah, the way he's been playing, I definitely wouldn't be surprised. He's still running very low on health with clean water. That's not clean water and Bash for that matter. I don't think that's a huge deal. Just picked up Charge Flame from the Glide Vault, thanks to. Thinking, let me just check these clean water pickups. He's actually finally getting the water vein pickup, which he actually skipped earlier, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I try to remember what that was. He might have had no energy there to even glitch and just took the fall. I'm not actually sure, though. Seeing Oshi do some checks around the start. I don't think... Oh no, he went to the boulder area before. He's heading down to light grenade now from the looks of things, as Hydra's gonna get to double jump, and oh man, he checked stuff so thoroughly. And then like, is like, okay, it's go mode, let's skip charge jump and continue to find all these health cells and stuff.
I certainly don't think this will be fatal for him in this particular case, but you know, would have been nice to have charge jump, but we'll see. It does get the health cell right before the double jump tree, so that will at least be nice, as well as the energy cell there. He should be pretty safe. Just needs to be a little more careful than maybe his baseline level of careful.
Yeah, that's true. And like, it's funny because he happened to skip charge jump, but he skipped the slowest pickup among everything that was available, so like, it's completely reasonable for this kind of partial go mode thing. Like, yeah, I still want some stuff. I mean, he's at 1 keystone. It would be nice to pick up a couple of those so he doesn't have to duplicate keys and Sorrow, but, he's not going to go out of his way for things. Now he's at the swamp teleport. This might actually be his best trip to Valley, I'm guessing, because he never opened the top of Spirit Caverns, and he doesn't have charge jump, so he can't go up from Sea Flame. So he's going to use this to get over to Valley of the Wind. Oh my goodness. Oshi is attempting to do the laser spinner here in the grenade area with only charge jump, because he doesn't have dash, which is what's theoretically required here. He does have double jump. There's a couple different ways to do this. But Oshi's trying my personal pet favorite, which is to charge jump off of the spinning laser thing. It's not the easiest thing in the world. It's pretty finicky. So he did give up on it, but man, it would have been hilarious if he'd pulled it off. I think he might have to go back in there, actually. Oh, he almost made it up that wall. Maybe he can make that? With a little bit better jump on one of them? No, he's giving up on that, so he's going back in here. No, you don't have to do this crazy charge jump on the laser. Yeah, you can just... Oh, goodness, he did it. Okay, nice job, Oshi. I love it. I love that stupid strat. I'm very proud of Oshi for doing it here. As he is going to skip his cutscene and head into the grenade tree. And Hydra, meanwhile, is watching a cutscene to get the Grove Teleporter. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is tree 6 for Oshi now, so he is going to finally get that Sunstone clue, which is going to tell him, yep, probably didn't want to leave Ginso. Yeah, there it is. Oh, and the circles, the wild mouse movements. That's the statement right there. Well, there's a couple options at this point, Sigma, and one of those options is just rush every remaining tree as quickly as possible and then just call it a day. What, if anything, would be the obstacles for Oshi just doing that? Just saying, since I know where the Sunstone is, and it's a place I've already been, I can just finish everything else, and then I can just go there. Honestly, with his skills and health, I would consider the left side fairly easy. He has the Sorrow Teleporter, and I think he might use... He's got to pick up the Sea Flame tree here, but I could see him just using the Sorrow Teleporter and just getting the left side done, kind of hoping that Bash is hanging out over there, because sometimes that can happen. He's not going to find it, but then he'll just go back to Ginso, and he can get to that Sunstone with charge jump. It's just a little annoying. I need to just... How did Hydra's Fast Stompless actually work? I don't know, man. That was like... so much spaghetti, but he still made it to the cell. I mean, the shot looked fine, but yeah, how he made it to the cell is question marks. Listen, charge dash is pretty good, and doing a bunch of extra bashes actually makes it seem like you can do a lot. Hey, there's a climb. Perfect. So Oshi, when he gets there, will get grenade jumps, but until then, unfortunately, is going to have to go without, and that's going to make this section slightly more annoying. Now, he did manage to get the wall break there. He just unfortunately took a death after. This is a little bit finicky with either charge jump or stomp, but it is possible with either one. Yeah, counterintuitively, this break with charge jump that he's trying to do here is easier if you get hit by the top spikes and fall into the bottom, because when you get hit by the bottom spikes first, you kind of get knocked up and away, and it means you usually have to take 2 damage. He had enough health to take 2 damage though, so he's able to get through. He'll be able to get to the charge jump tree. And then grenade jumps, I mean, I don't know how much Oshi's going to want to do them all over the place, but since his base movement speed is so slow without bash or dash, he could definitely speed himself up like in general, just grenade jumping into Misty and stuff like that.
I mean, I want to point out that both runners are missing 3 trees, and one of them for Oshi is Feather, so it's going to be very, very quick to get. This actually, despite both runners having completely disparate sets of skills in significant ways, they're going to end up having like very similar times here, and if Oshi's able to go quickly enough, he might be able to make up for the fact that the Sunstones and the Ginso escape, but
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot.
If he had the Sunstone already, then I think this would be pretty close and they could get to the escape together. But like, he's gonna have to go all the way up the Ginso tree. He doesn't have the teleporter, and that's gonna be too much. Like, Hydra, I think, will be going to Horu when Oshi is climbing up Ginso for the second time.
Yeah, that seems likely. Well, Oshi is heading down and out of Sorrow. He's actually gonna stop for a check or two, so I guess he's wondering if maybe Bash somehow is over here on the left side of the map, which is theoretically possible. It's just garbage, and I mean, sometimes garbage things happen in Randomizer. As it happens on this particular day, we know where all 3 of his remaining skills are. We know he's going to get Climb when he falls down into Valley and collects Feather, and we know that Bash and Dash are never going to show up for him because, unfortunately, they were both in the same place, and he just, unfortunately, did not have the energy.
Yeah. It's just funny thinking back on how this race went. Like, so much stuff was loaded into Grotto. Both players found about half of it, somehow. And then it was a fast seed save for the Sunstone's position being a little bit out of the way. And Hydra, managed to pick it up without a clue. Oshi just not having Bash didn't want to go up there. Makes sense. And I just want to think of like how different this race would be if Bash was in that plant instead, and Hydra also had to go back.
Oh baby, we have oh okay. I thought Oshi was gonna jump down to try to do some grenade jumps, but instead he's still checking pickups right now, and I have a feeling it's because of that Bashless escape that he's a little bit concerned about. But he's gonna opt to go ahead and toss those out the window and then return to his save, and now he's setting up for the grenade jump.
Oh, doesn't quite get it first try. Normally, when you have dash, these barely save any time, but when you have no movement abilities, it's worth giving them a couple tries, because he'll go flying into Misty. But there we go, nice. That helps out the early movement there a lot. Hydra, meanwhile, is tearing things up. He's going into the grenade tree, and that'll be his last tree. He'll be on his way to Horu immediately after he picks that up.
There it is, Energy Cell, his reward at the end of a decently long seed, but managing to get to the final escape with, I should say get to the point where he's going to go to the final escape with 4 health, what appears to be 9 energy, and I don't believe he's got anywhere near the points for Ultra Defense, so he's going to be going with just regular double jump, bash, everything except charge jump pretty much, and that should be plenty for him as an experienced all-skills runner and player of this game.
Yeah, he's definitely far from Ultra Defense, so pretty much it's just going to mean the fire will one-shot him, but that's nothing new to Hydra. He's used to all-skills escapes where if you take damage, it's over, so it's just going up to Horu Fields now. Oshi will be at Climb soon, and then I imagine he's just going to go straight to the Ginso tree. I feel like, he's been willing to look at stuff a bit to try to find Bash, but you see he's not going for anything in Misty here because, well, Bash can't be in here, I don't think. But, yeah, I think he's just going to deal with the charge jump escape.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine some completely heinous, set of conditions that could lead to Bash being in Misty. And they're all bad, and I don't want to think about them. So instead, I'm going to think about Hydra's door warp attempts coming up. Everyone's favorite trick. The one that commentators excel at counting, especially when the runner pulls it off first try like just there. Because, boy, let me tell you, it's really easy to count to 1.
Yeah, thanks, Hydra. Making our jobs easy.
Oh, man. Starting the final escape at the same time that Oshi is collecting tree number 10, so barring anything really crazy, Hydra will be walking away. Just needs to finish the formality here.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, he even has the opportunity feel like he could take a couple deaths on this. Oshi's gonna have to still climb all of Ginso and get here. So Hydra should be perfectly fine. Just having Bash makes the escape, you know, pretty easy on its own in general, I guess I could say. It's normally when you don't have Bash that things start to get hairy. But Hydra's already through into the switchback before the water, and he'll probably just rocket jump on a fish to finish this off because he can't grenade jump, so he is taking a fish with him.
Our favorite fish strats. Fish gets bashed above the fire, and Hydra rocket jumps to victory. He will be holding right for about 40 seconds, and that will be his path to 2-2, as Oshi will unfortunately be getting eliminated from bracket contention here with this loss. But GG to Hydra, just a really good job of combining, you know, efficient clearing of many locations to get those skills with, you know, swift execution of everything else, plus a little bit of luck, Sigma.
Yeah, that bash and dash pairing in the lower left part of Grotto there was so huge. When he got it out of sequence and Oshi didn't go for the same sequence break, like that was just such a big moment in the race, I think.
It was pretty crazy that he went for it with no backup save too. I mean, obviously, if you can do the trick consistently, then the backup save doesn't matter, but doing it consistently is hard. It's a difficult save drop. It's finicky in a number of ways, so being able to just pull that off the first try very confidently is pretty impressive. And here we go, as Hydra just needs to march Naru to the right just a little bit, as Oshi is working his way up the Ginso tree.
Yeah, I do want to make a note about that trick though. If you mess it up, you know, like the reason you would back a save up for it is if you mess it up, you get stuck in a laser and you're constantly dying on respawn. But even when you're in that state, you can actually just mash Alt-R and you will eventually get out. So your file doesn't get soft locked if you fail. You just, you know, don't get to check the pickups in your sentence start, which is bad, but not as bad as loading a backup save like 2 minutes ago. So that's kind of part of the reason, I guess you could say, why you can go for it backup-less, because it's not like the race is over if you fail it.
That's true, yeah. You mostly just wouldn't want to lose the progress of having to march all the way back into the bottom of Grotto there. But for sure, you can definitely confidently do it without a backup and not worry about like a soft lock or anything.
Wall charge jump into stomps to kill the mini-boss, that's pretty sick.
I don't think I've seen that before. That's pretty good.
Unfortunately, Oshi's experience is not set up for core skip somehow. Like, the route just got off a bit 44 minutes into this randomizer, so he won't be able to do that. But he has stomps, so he can do the right side room very quickly.
He also is up to 9 HP at this point, a significant difference from Hydra. I don't even know how specifically HP was the thing that Hydra managed to miss the entire seed, but he found a way. So she just needs to head over to the right room, stomp the wall there. Probably will check the plant, you know, because it's Sunstone, Clue, and Ginso. It could be literally any one of these locations, and the plant is one of them, but it turns out to just be, oh, now his XP.
Oh, man! Not that he could get the frog up there anyway, it's a bash. So I guess that puts a damper on things. But he's starting the escape now. Bashless Ginso escape is not easy, but he has pretty much every other skill that helps, so we'll see how it goes for Oshi. Oh, he didn't glitch the water either, so that's going to make it spooky, but I think he can pull this one off.
Ah, who needs to glitch the water? It's fine. He's going to even go for a grenade jump. I love that. That's really, it's a really nice swag from him. I mean, it's fast as well, obviously, but it's just like, there's water chasing you, dude. Maybe don't try to line up a frame-perfect jump, but that's alright. I believe the next XP up the way... No, it was like the second to last one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's up by the spider. At least it wasn't the end of the tree, because that's kind of the really annoying part, although with this much health, it's fairly comfortable to just walk on this. Oh, he did not get that charge jump off, but is able to get back to the platform before the water catches up, and get this one, and a bit of disappointment. Now, moments away from the Sunstone is Oshi. There it is. He's out, and he's on his way to Horu.
See you later, Ginso. No need to complete that escape and watch Ori stare at the sky for a bunch of time, as all that Oshi needed was that Sunstone, and he just collected it. So we're on our way to Mount Horu. He's even going to pick up Ultra Defense because why not? He has it, and he's got a bashless final escape coming up. Certainly never an easy thing. We did, of course, get emphasized by our truck that in the past in this tournament, Oshi has been involved in a bashless final escape seed that was pretty rough for all involved, not just Oshi and his team. So he's definitely practiced a bunch of different bashless escapes, but certainly you still, never really want to give up on extra safety if you can afford it.
Yeah, that's true. I think Oshi's gonna nail this one though, because he has really good stats for it. He's still looking for, fast pickups, because Bash would make it so much easier, but he has enough health to take, I believe, 3 fire hits, since I think he has Ultra Defense, and his water's clean, so I think he'll be able to pull this one off just fine.
As he heads there, just thinking back through this seed, both runners did end up with fairly distinct skill sets over the course of the seed. We did find all the skills that were available, but it really, it really does seem like the simplest thing to say is, good God, Oshi.
That poor Baneling.
What did he ever do to you, man? It really does seem like the simplest thing to say is just that, like, it came down to Hydra finding that bash and dash combo, because really, if Oshi, well, okay, 2 plays, that and continuing all the way through the Ginso escape, and in fact, the fact that Hydra went to the Ginso escape a little sooner and missed out on charge jump and grenade might have actually meant that he had more incentive to continue up. He didn't have stomp by that point either, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And I think you can really pin things on that bash dash play, because I wouldn't be surprised for Oshi to have made the same play if he had bash. Just keep going up to your Genso at that point, since it's like you've done the bash tree but you don't have the clue, so the revisit is super painful, as we've seen. That's maybe a reason to put off Genso when you can, but maybe a reason to complete it when you don't have the clue. But then it's like, if you don't have bash, do you really want to spend the time when bash is so good and it can't be up there? I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I think the overall lesson is that randomizer is impossible. So we got some enjoyable swag from Oshi. He decided to do a save drop in Mount Horu instead of door warping. A significantly easier strat because it's not a frame perfect trick, but it does require culling a mini boss, so we got to see some fun strats for that. And then Oshi opted to check the validation XP, which doesn't validate anything, but it sure is fun to meme a little bit about.
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, it didn't have any skills left it could be at this point, since they all fell into Grotto. All in Grotto, just toss them there, into Grotto. It's gonna go over the top. I like this approach to this room because you can do this room without this, but now there's no Kuro trigger spawn, so even though you missed that grenade jump there, it's not like there's a giant bird coming to kill him. And he's now able to get that G-jump second try into the elemental room now. This is the hard one. You can either grenade jump over it, or he can take... Oh, he's going for the arc with the redirect on the elemental shot. That's pretty sick. Takes a bunch of damage from the far right firewall there, but it is okay. He's got clean water, so he's clear.
That was fantastic execution. I love that. You can obviously see how much Oshi has practiced this particular kind of escape, which, like, there are many, many experienced randomizer players who would absolutely struggle in a bashless final escape. So it's really cool to see Oshi put that on display here at the end of this race, and wrapping things up with a grenade jump for a, an exclamation point here, as he does lose this match, but walks away with his head held high, hopefully, for a good performance in a seed where he unfortunately got randoed.
Yeah, well, as you say, kind of had to happen to somebody, and fortunately Oshi's going to take the loss here and go to 1-3. Hydra keeping the bracket dream alive. The reverse sweep well underway for him. He's going to 2-2. We'll just have to take down his match next week, and he'll be making that bracket appearance.
Getting some Naru hops here as Oshi finishes up a little bit of a dance, and then we get the finish at 51-20. So a really good time, honestly, for a seed like this with Bash and Dash just not being present for you and having to do the double Ginso revisit, the double Ginso visit. But that's the race. So why don't we go ahead and just grab our competitors here and we can have a quick chat with them. First of all, GG Hydra, congratulations on the victory. And I want to know right now, like, there are two big things. I want to know about the save drop and whether you like have any like qualms about doing that, like Sans backup. And then I want to know about continuing and finishing the Ginso tree.
Okay, so first of all, I almost always do that save drop, and after just a certain amount of time, it has like essentially never failed me. As well as, you know, if you do mess up the save drop, there is a like frame or two where you can press Alt-R and it'll just teleport you back to the start. So if you do end up, you know, infinitely dying there, you have that option available. So I just don't really, I don't feel the backup is necessary whatsoever. As for continuing through Ginso Tree, I don't know, honestly. I figured that I had to have some sort of progression earlier on, but I also was missing out on a lot of health, which, that was kind of a worry to me at that time. The clean water, I think the clean water is what actually like prompted me to finish the Ginso tree itself, just so I can do the swim in swamp. But yeah, wow.
Sorry, just so that you could do the swim in swamp?
Yep.
Question mark, question mark, question mark?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really, I don't know. I really felt as if charge jump had to be somewhere nearby, but it turns out I missed that somewhere, and I don't really know where.
Well, you're right.
It sure was, dude. I'm sorry. Sigma, you gotta help me out here.
Do you want to know or do you want to watch it back? It's pretty funny, I gotta say.
I mean, I will watch it back, but I don't mind the spoiler at all.
Okay, so it's the pickup in the Crushers before the double jump tree door. Like, not the one you got, but the one pickup you skipped after being so thorough. Because it's the slowest one. It's like, yeah, that makes sense to skip. It's the silly one.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Huh. Wow.
Alright. I'm sorry. So meanwhile, Oshi, thank you for joining us as well. GG on finishing up a bashless seed, never a fun time. Overall, your routing on that was also really good, and what I want to ask you about, of course, is you didn't continue in Ginso beyond the second key door. When you got the Ginso clue subsequently, what was your thinking? Like, how did you go about planning the rest of the seed, basically?
Well, first I was like, heck, because I completely forgot about Sea Flame Tree, and I didn't get it until, I didn't remember it until after, I was like, around when I was near Dash Plant, and if I got that, then Bash would have been map Tree 6, I think, which kind of sucks, because then they kind of could have continued. But I was basically looking for something that would help me finish the game, so once I found Clean Water, it's like, oh, that'll make the final escape a lot easier because I can just take more damage there. So after that, I was like, I can pretty much just go. I just need a little bit more health and found some in near BRB. That stuff.
We did see you check a fair number of locations just kind of nearby on your way to the end. Was that kind of like a, man, I sure hope Bash is just somewhere along the way type of deal, or was there anything else you were looking for at that point?
Well, once I had the Ginso clue, I was like, heck. And then I looked for more keystones, because I knew that I'd full cleared Ginso already, so there's not any keystones in there. So once I got my 4th keystone, I think it was like one of the keystones in Misty or something like that, I just started skipping everything else.
Makes sense.
All right, I'd like to toss another question Hydra's way. I'd like to go back to the start of the race where, you know, you did a good job of not getting yourself randoed, checking kind of slow one-offs like the Horrorfield's Health Cell and even Iceless, which I guess I'll ask about that first. How much longer were you going to try before you gave up on that?
You know, it was kind of just the sunk cost fallacy. I attempted it for a few attempts there, failed it. I got pretty close on like the 5th or 6th attempt or whatever, and just decided, you know, I can do this, and I just went for it until I got it.
That's pretty awesome. So, back to the original point. Were you worried throughout the start of that seed that the boulder escape might have had something useful, since it's, you know, slow as heck, but just a place that you could have got to early?
Yeah. So I alt-R'd out of the main room of Blackroot after grabbing the swamp teleporter, and decided to not go to that the boulder experience there, the one that is in logic, the only one that's in logic there. I figured it might have been something, but at the same time, I had so much available to me at the time that I just felt the swamp play was better.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can get behind that, and you know, that's just how rando is. It's like you gotta cut off some things, cut off the slow ones, miss charge jump sometimes, but like, it's how it goes, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We did actually see every skill in that race. That was pretty interesting. Hydra, I'll throw you the typical question, the same question I think I asked you last week when you managed to salvage a 1-2 record out of 0-2, and it's still the same question. Now you're 2-2. You've managed not to get eliminated from bracket contention yet, but you still have to win one more, your 3rd straight, if you want to be able to do that. You said it last time that you feel you play better under pressure. Based on your results today, do you feel like you're still able to keep that up, or, you know, has that changed your outlook at all? Anything like that?
So the previous match, when I was just 0-1, or sorry, 0-2, the nerves got to me so much that I, like, when I was holding right in that race, my heart felt as if it was going 180 BPM or whatever, and this race, it was not even close to that, which I feel like impacted my decisions on what I did. Namely, like the Hinso escape. When I did that, that probably would never have crossed my mind in that previous race that I did.
All right, thanks. Well, I've got one more question for Oshi. I've seen a little bit of trash talk thrown here and there, so I just want to give you this one. It's the lightning round. I'm going to list off a random selection of possible opponents, one of them that you might face next round, and I want you to tell me if he's scary at all or if it's an easy win. So here it is. J-Hobbs.
Easy.
Thank you.
Yo, agreed. All right. Thank you both so much for joining us. Thank you for putting on this show for us today. And Hydra, again, GG on the victory, and Oshi, GG on your race. And I'm sad to say that you won't be able to make the bracket, but I look forward to seeing your remaining race and seeing you get revenge on some noob J-Hobbs.
We'll win doubles, it's fine.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. That is the only race we actually have tonight. However, we do have one coming up tomorrow morning, pending just making sure that we can sort out volunteers and stuff for that. We would be having the Flying Marlin versus OG 1764 tomorrow morning. It would be at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so a little bit of an early one, but even if we're not able to get a broadcast crew together, feel free to check out those two runners' channels at that time and cheer them on to victory. both of them, which is weird because they can't both win. There are other matches tomorrow as well. You can always check the schedule. ! Ori in the chat will get that for you. So make sure to tune in. But for now, Sigma, it's been a pleasure joining you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I'd also like to thank Rainbow Poogle, Smashy, and Melvin for helping us out behind the scenes to restream, do the tracking, and all that. Now, as always, we couldn't do it without you guys, so thanks, and thanks everybody for watching.